day of shooting, we picked the most difficult set ever. Smoke, mirrors in every direction. Love it. Welcome to Twilight.
You're listening to Another Bite of Twilight, a podcast where we look back on our obsession with the Twilight saga and continue to freak out 10 years later.
Hi, guys.
Hi guys, happy Twilight Tuesday.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
I'm Kelly.
I'm Mel.
And this is Another Bite of Twilight.
Yes.
As you know from the theme song.
This is a special episode because we have a special guest.
Hello. Hey guys. It's me.
Okay, hang on. Mel, who do we have with us
This
today?
is the voice of my good buddy Dan.
I am Dan.
Dan.
Can confirm.
Dan Staffier.
Yes, that's I.
We've been friends for many years.
Many moons, you might say,
Many-
to make it thematic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when we go way back, we met in third grade.
Met your twin bro, Sean. It was 2004, second grade, and I think you came along shortly after that.
Yeah,
Third
yeah.
grade.
But we really weren't friends until sixth
Sixth.
grade.
Sixth is when we became
Yeah,
friends.
because it was like not cool to be friends with
It
like
was
boys.
highly unacceptable. and
Yeah.
highly frowned upon back
Yeah,
then.
yeah, it would have been inappropriate
No,
at the
yeah.
time.
I mean, we wanted to. There was the feeling behind the scenes that we didn't really express, but
I didn't feel that. and,
well, I felt it.
and you met Kelly like in elementary school. Kelly, do you remember meeting Dan?
I
Yeah.
came over your house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. I mean, I heard of Dan like a million times, and I saw him at your house.
Yeah.
And yeah, I do remember.
I remember coming
Coming
over your
over.
house. But was it actually the 4th of July, you would say?
I think it was
Or close to the 4th of
5th of July. When does Chelmsford do the road race?
Oh, that's the 4th of July.
Yeah.
4th of
Yeah.
July. Wow, we did. And we
Yeah.
played duck hunt and swam in your pool. And that's what I remember.
Oh my god.
Good times.
Pool is not there anymore.
Didn't
Oh,
you have?
R.I.P..
I'm not gonna name him, but one of your friends met us when we were kids, and then or like in middle school, and said to you like, "Geez, the Duffy's cousins are really cute."
What? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that happened. Yep. Okay, well, I'll tell you later.
Just say now, I'll cut it out.
That was probably like 5 years ago.
5 years ago? Oh, that's not
Yeah,
long.
that was like late high school or early college.
Oh,
no,
wow.
maybe, you know what? It was high school. I'm gonna say senior year of high school.
Wait, so what exactly did he say?
That. Most cousins are really cute.
Anyway, so Mel, why are we bringing Dan on the show today?
Well, so Dan has been watching the Twilight movies. He's shown an interest for the first
Yes.
time to give them a chance, and
because of our podcast.
Because my great friends have this podcast.
Yeah.
And I couldn't just be, you know, like ignorantly
yeah,
pretending like I care about it without knowing what makes it what it is. And as a kid, I mean, as part of like the Twilight generation of kids per se, I was part of the like generic group of guys who automatically hated Twilight for no reason. I remember you mentioning like when it came out, like there wasn't like so much like hype and hubbub about it, and
Yeah.
like it wasn't like a big like phenomenon, and it wasn't necessarily uncool to like it,
yeah.
and that lots of guys originally liked it.
yeah,
But then shortly after that, it just became popular to dislike it if you were a guy.
yeah,
And I remember like most people would say like vampires are supposed to be like dark and evil and like kill people and do horrible things and like suck your blood, and these are like just like wimpy emos running
Yeah,
around,
yeah,
and that's
yeah.
what people would say.
stupid sparkly vampires.
Yes, yeah, pretty much. And so I never saw it. I never read the books. I made it a mission, as other guys did, to avoid it and make fun of it relentlessly. And now here I am.
Here you
age
are, giving it a
24,
chance.
watching it and enjoying it.
Have your sisters? Dan has 3 sisters. Were they into Twilight
7
at all?
sisters? No. 3. No.
No. I feel like they're probably too
A little
young.
younger.
Yeah.
A little younger.
Who did you know that was into it? Just Mel?
I mean, most girls, right? Most girls in the grade, but you were
Yeah.
like the most notable case.
I remember before the last movie came out, I was planning on seeing the marathon with Kelly, and you were in my gym class, and so
I remember you talking about this. I thought you were a nutcase. You went to a movie theater. It was like all day and all night to watch every single one in a row. Was that after they were all released?
It was
the release of the last one.
one.
So
yeah.
you watched all of them, and then as it came out, the last one.
Yeah. I remember in gym class every day we'd walk the track, and I just would talk about it
Like,
relentlessly.
yeah. oh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But now you're giving it a chance.
Here I am.
So you watched Twilight.
I've watched Twilight and the second one.
We watched Twilight.
Two weeks ago watched the first one, and 1 week ago watched the second one, and then we plan on watching the third one and all the other ones very soon as well.
So,
Wow.
what were your general thoughts on the first movie?
On the first movie, okay, so honestly didn't know anything going in besides just all the stereotypes. And I thought you were coming over to watch it with Amanda, and I thought that's what it was going to be. Like, I wasn't...
Oh, really?
I mean, like, I was going to watch it,
Yeah.
but I wasn't there to like, okay, this is my this is my time, I'm going to give Twilight a chance. I
Yeah.
thought I was just going to passively watch Twilight, and then I found myself sucked in.
No way.
Yeah. No, so, I mean, you talked about the first one having, like, more of, like, an indie director and less of a budget, and there was, like, not a lot of fanfare around its production, and that was clear. It seemed like more of an indie film than, like, I was expecting.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be, like, this big, glamorous flick, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
You'll have to, like, jog my memory of certain scenes so I can, like,
Okay, what do you
give
think?
more specific...
What do you think about the biology scene when Bella walks in and Edward smells her for the first time and he's like
yeah.
holding his breath?
That was really weird.
That was weird.
That was strange. I just didn't know what was going on. It was very exaggerated, I think.
I heard that from another guy, actually. And someone who hadn't read the book being like, what happens in that scene?
Yeah.
Which
I didn't know
never
what was going
knew.
on yet.
Maybe because we read the book, but that's kind of an oversight, I guess, maybe, that
People
like,
don't.
why would you know that? I mean, I guess Bella isn't supposed to know either,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just, they never really explain it. Like, the rest, he
Yeah.
doesn't say, like, oh, like, you smelled so good in class that I freaked out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
you can piece it together.
Yeah.
I do think, because people always make fun of that scene and being like, oh, she just smelled bad.
Oh, sorry.
You know? I do think that there are some things in Twilight where if you didn't read the books, it might not make sense to you.
Yeah,
Maybe
and that scene wasn't like, I don't know, it was just like so over exaggerated. Like he was tweaking out in this.
Yeah.
It wasn't this subtle like I'm into how she smells. It
Yeah.
was like I'm about to die. So I was a little jarred by that, but
What about the scene when he crushes the van? He stops the van from crushing Bella.
heartthrob, teenage heart. Well, not really teenage. He's what 100 and something, but yeah, So I didn't understand at first that he was like a zillion years old.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Almost immediately, like halfway into the movie, I was Team Jacob, based on the fact. I mean,
Halfway?
Team Edward.
Okay.
I mean, so, oh
Like,
God.
wait, what?
I was leaning towards Edward because I don't know. I saw like this serious, like palpable connection between the two of them.
Yeah.
And I didn't see any like ulterior motives yet.
Yeah.
Just from a very in plain sight, it just seemed like these were two people who were really like fucking into each other. And there was like a chemistry you could feel. There was tenseness you could feel, and I didn't see anything bad about it.
Yeah.
I knew he was a vampire because how can you not?
Yeah.
But it didn't seem like I want her to do like terrible things to her.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah.
I mean, you know.
They just really love each other. And it, like, when I told you that they dated in real life, doesn't that just make sense?
Yeah. I mean, you could feel it.
So the chemistry was good.
Yeah.
Yes.
He said during the movie, like, I just need them to kiss right now.
It was getting annoying after a while. It was. I wanted some catharsis from it.
So what do you think about the fact that he is 108 years old?
Okay, so here's the thing. So that changes
Here's the
things a little bit because then it brings in the whole, like, child love. I mean, how old is she? Like 17?
17, yeah.
He's like 100 and something. So a little creepy in that aspect. But I don't see him necessarily wanting her for, like, sexual reasons. I don't get that. I just feel like
Yeah.
there's some weird bond
Yeah.
between them. And, like, obviously it's more...
It's more mental.
It's more mental, and there's more substance to it than just this, like, arbitrary bond. Like, he can't read her mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's something going on between them. She's special in some way. I don't know what it is yet. She's clearly special in some way. I just know that there's a bond for a reason, and that it is not sexual. So, I mean, although it can seem creepy when there's this 100-and-something-year-old guy, I don't really see it that way.
Yeah, that's true. It is really, it's way more, it's
Yeah.
not really sexual.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there are some sexual parts, like obviously their kiss
But
is
it doesn't,
like,
yeah.
steamy,
It's, oh yeah.
but it's not based in that.
Yeah, I don't think it's based on that.
Yeah.
I think he is just drawn to her for mystical reasons. And that she, I guess, also is, but there's definitely love as well.
What do you think about the fact that he watches her sleep? That's a big criticism.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know, I don't see it as like a creepy sexual thing. When you take out
Me
the
too.
sexual, when you take out the sexual tones, which, I mean, I wasn't really detecting. I mean, yes, it's like scary to watch someone sleep, but I don't know. There's something unexplained going on.
Yeah.
I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I
People
can't say.
put the sexual tones in there.
Yeah.
Plus, okay, yeah, I know it's definitely stalking and crossing a boundary, but in the book especially, they don't have this in the movie, which kind of bugs me, but in the book he says, like, well, you talk in your sleep, so I can hear you speaking. And he says, like, the first time that he went to her room, she said his name out loud, and he was like, what?
Yeah. Because he
So
can't
that's
read her
kinda-
mind.
That's why he stayed around, actually, to listen to her talk
Ah,
in her sleep. So it isn't sexual.
interesting.
And I think if Bella said, I don't want you here, he wouldn't watch.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think she's.
Yeah.
She likes
She's
it.
okay with
Yeah.
it. She's clearly got something for like mystical types. I think
Yeah.
she's totally into that. The fact that he's capable of this magic and stuff, etc. Also, like, I mean, Edward has been around as like a conscious like person for 100+ years, and like I don't know, maybe like after you live like 100 years like with a normal brain, like you're just like above normal social norms. I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's so
You have a
true.
different perspective. Like fucking who cares?
Yeah.
Like, I'm watching this. I know it sounds bad, but maybe
Yeah.
he's transcended something.
Yeah, that's true. It's like,
Transcended social norms. He's above that shit.
He's been everywhere. He's done everything.
he's done everything. I mean, when you can like,
Except have sex.
when you can do pretty much anything, something like that doesn't seem so weird.
No, yeah, that must seem so insignificant.
Yeah.
So, okay, people have to pick one. Do you want him to be a scary vampire, or do you want him to be just a normal guy? Because people will be like, oh, vampires are supposed to be scary.
Yeah.
Here's him going in her room, which is like a little creepy, but then they're like, no.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's not a man. Like, he's not a normal guy.
Yeah,
He's a monster.
It would be, yes, exactly.
He's a monster. He's supposed to be lurking in people's bedrooms at night. He's
Yes.
doing his job.
Like, without any elements like that, it wouldn't really even qualify as like a vampire story.
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
Just be this creepy dude, yeah.
If it was just a regular man climbing up a tree.
I would, yes. No.
I would, yes. No.
I would object to that in a different way. He's not a
With
man.
binoculars, then that would be
Oh my God.
you.
Yeah, he's peeping Tom. It's not just a no.
Yeah, you need, it's supposed to be scary in some way.
So I found myself associating, and through the second movie, Team Edward,
Yes.
based on, I just believe that the love / connection / bond they have is true, and I support it. I don't think that, I mean, when people say they're on teams, it's who they support being together, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, I'm not saying...
Well, some people, there's different interpretations. Like, some people, the team that they're on is who they want Bella with. And some people, the team that they're on is who they would
just-
rather be with.
Okay. So, I mean, I don't
confusing.
necessarily dislike Jacob. And, I mean, you have to remember, he is literally, 16 years old?
Yeah.
And he did some bad shit, like when he said that Bella was dead to Edward and all that. Yeah, like that was really, really bad. But then you have to remember, he's an ultra hormonal werewolf teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you blame him? If he was 109, maybe you could blame him. I don't know. I think his desires for Bella are more on the sexual side, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because they're both teenagers going to high school together and
Yeah.
stuff. I don't know. I don't hate the guy. No.
Yeah. So what did you think about Jacob in Twilight? There wasn't really much with him.
In the first one?
Yeah.
I mean, I was shocked because I thought it was like this duality between Edward and Jacob constantly. But, I mean, the first Twilight was an Edward movie. The second one was a Jacob movie,
Yeah.
clearly.
Yeah.
So at the end of the first movie, you're totally Team Edward.
Team Edward. Then the beginning of the second movie, for a brief second, I'm Team Guy on the motorcycle who takes Bella. And I don't know how it develops on a team basis is. If any of your listeners out there are on Team Stranger with the motorcycle down the dark alley, give me a call. I liked him. He seemed like a great guy. Here's this bored girl. Let me just show her a fun time.
I can be whoever you want me to be.
Question. Yeah, see? Doesn't that sound just great?
What if she took a turn for her life?
Yeah. That's who she's with.
Is it a thing to be Team Mike? Is that a thing?
No, but
we try to make
like
it.
Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are pretty sympathetic.
I like Mike. I have
like
nothing against Mike also. Like, he is literally just a normal dude who has a crush on her.
Yeah, don't you feel bad for him?
But yeah, he's dealing with two literal mythological monsters.
Yeah.
So he's got hard competition.
Yeah.
The scene with the hands in the movie theater.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah. Poor
He
Mike.
calls him a marshmallow and he throws up and stuff.
And the way that they dressed Mike in that scene, he's wearing
He's like a geek.
Yeah.
I don't know. I empathize with him.
Poor guy doesn't stand a chance.
No.
I know.
But yeah, we are very sympathetic to Mike, but I think our listeners are less sympathetic.
I mean, there's nothing
in general.
What's wrong with Mike?
It's classic life though, because he doesn't stand a chance for Bella, but meanwhile Jessica is like obsessed with him, and he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, and
'Cause he only cares
Jessica's
about Bella.
cute.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with Jessica.
Yeah, what's wrong with her either?
So she's a little annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you think about Edward leaving Bella? The breakup scene.
I mean, I was pissed.
Yeah.
What was going on? I was confused. I knew there was a reason for it, and that we were going to find out if we just kept watching and stay tuned.
Did you believe it? Like, did you believe that he just didn't want to be with her?
No.
Yeah.
I knew something was going on. I seriously, I genuinely trust that he has good intentions with her, so I knew that it was going to make sense in the end.
Yeah.
Although I was scared pretty often
Yeah.
when Bella was doing the adrenaline junkie stuff and like
Yeah.
nearly died like 17 times.
It's ridiculous.
He should have come back like a little bit before she started jumping off fucking cliffs.
Yeah.
That was that was shitty. That
Yeah.
was shitty. I admit it, but I trusted that this guy had good intentions.
Do you think
somehow.
he knew
I don't
that she
know.
was doing this other stuff, like the motorcycles and?
No.
Do you think what?
Well, remember, I think it's in the book, but Alice says that Edward told her just not
To think about Bella?
to not look out for Bella, or to not like
Yeah.
have visions of her or whatever.
Yeah.
Because he knew that if he saw anything, he would like go back.
Yeah.
So
And in the book, actually, when they are reunited, he says to her, like, I was just about to come back anyway. I couldn't do it anymore. Like, every single day, he was just so depressed and in agony.
crazy.
Like, taking it day by day, debating whether he was going to come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so he was in agony about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't having fun.
Yeah, he
I mean,
wasn't just shooting the shit.
as you see in the movie, he's basically wearing the same exact shirt he wore when he left all those months before. What did you think about the transition when the camera pans around her and it's just the months going by?
Oh, and the months going by?
Yeah.
It was dramatic and, I don't know, emotionally provoking.
Yeah. So when we were watching the movie, I said a lot of people criticize Bella for the way that she reacts to the breakup.
Oh, yeah.
And
I
how
mean, if you had the opportunity to literally have a relationship with a supernatural being, hottie, and he just disappeared, I'd be pretty sad.
yeah.
I would be just as depressed.
Me too.
And it's not like,
I literally...
how many months was it that she was like sulking?
3 months?
For a teenager, for like a 16-year-old, that's not ridiculous. People do that. People did that in high school.
Yeah.
That's normal. That's not that. I don't think she should be criticized for that.
No.
Her heart was broken. 3 months
Yeah.
isn't 3 years. If it was 3 years, I'd be worried. But 3 months is like around as long as you can go sulking like that. I'd say after that, like, she needs some help.
Yeah.
I was shocked, but I guess this makes sense. I was shocked originally that she didn't start turning to drugs or alcohol. But then you brought up the fact you brought up the fact that it was written by like a Mormon author and like
Yeah.
the culture doesn't involve drugs and alcohol, which I think makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Which I think makes a lot of sense.
I think I said once in one of our episodes, like, what we would change. I said that if it was my version, she would have turned to drugs.
It would have been a different story. I mean, that would have kind of ruined the story. It'd been more
That's
realistic.
true.
It would have been more realistic, but then it would have been like a drug story.
That's not what the movie
Okay,
was
not
trying to do.
drugs. Alcohol.
Yeah. But
Beer.
then is Bella like in rehab? Like I feel like that's
Bella goes to rehab.
No, she wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, she's just partying. too
Adrenaline
much.
is a drug.
Yeah.
Right? And she was on adrenaline.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind
Hot
of
take.
unique in that way. I feel like
Yeah,
it's
that's
something
true.
Yeah.
not a lot of teenagers
It's an addiction
do.
in a sense.
Yeah.
It still depicted her coping using addiction.
Well, what are the adrenaline junkie things she does? Just the motorcycles and the
Motorcycle,
cliff
the
diving?
cliff.
Yeah.
Wasn't there another one?
Is there a third thing?
I thought there was like 17
Well, I mean,
things.
getting on that stranger's motorcycle
Yeah.
was one.
Yeah.
I don't know if this counts, but also like going hiking by herself,
That's true. Yeah.
a little bad,
That's true.
unwise. And then that's when she almost dies because Laurent's there. It's like, what were you thinking?
So, what did you think about the CGI wolves?
So, I mean, I had seen like small clips of like the future Twilights, and I thought the CGI looked a little bit over the top and ridiculous. But this,
Yes.
I mean, this didn't look that bad. It really, you know what I liked in the second one was they improved like what it looks like for a vampire to be running.
Yeah.
That was kind of distracting the first one, but I get it because of the low budget. The second one, I think they did a much better job. Wasn't distracting. You mentioned that you
Yeah.
thought the wolves were like way too big.
Yeah.
I mean, they were large, but it didn't bother me.
Do you think that they're too big, Kelly?
Yeah, I don't know why they have to be that big.
Yeah.
Like the worst.
Yeah. They're
Are
even
werewolves
bigger.
supposed to be like giant? I didn't know that. I thought they were
didn't
wolf
know.
size.
Me too.
Or like human
I thought it was
size,
just
I
wolf size.
I think in the books they're supposed to be bigger than a real wolf.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
supposed to
then they
be like.
succeeded.
I think it's accurate to the book, but when you see it on the screen, it just looks kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like you can't really.
Yeah. I mean,
Picture.
when I saw them, I thought like that is like extremely large, but it didn't take away from my watching that much.
Yeah.
It was just a little fleeting thought.
I think the CGI is pretty good for
No,
2009.
I thought it was 2009. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's honestly great.
Yeah. I think
And
it should have won an
It's
Oscar.
weird how like higher budgets literally make it worse.
Yeah.
Like you look at
I
freaking
know.
Cats that just
Yeah.
ugh. That's like literally the top of the line possible CGI, and it is
know.
horrifying.
Why do you think that is? Like, why do you think when you have more resources, sometimes it just looks tackier?
Well, my grandfather always says perfection is the enemy of good,
Yeah.
and when you have a perfectly good thing, instead of just pumping more and more and more and more resources and good into it, you end up muddling it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Simplicity, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like they do that in the later movies where they're just like, how can we get this even better? Or they go too far on
It's like
certain
chill.
ideas.
They
Yeah.
should have kept the first director or two.
Yeah.
I mean, money, you know.
I wish.
I mean, it did end up being incredibly like profitable. Like it worked in a sense,
Yeah.
but is it money over story?
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Quality wise.
Yeah.
I was looking at lists of the top grossing movies of the 2010s, though, and Twilight it wasn't as high as I thought
Really?
it was. Yeah. I know that it broke a lot of records with like opening nights and stuff, but it's definitely doesn't still hold
Well,
any records.
if you think about it, it was literally just half the population. It was just, I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't really any boys. It wasn't really any men.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
all the girls and then a fraction of the women.
Yeah.
So honestly, it's kind of polarizing. So I guess it makes sense.
That's true. I think New Moon, when New Moon came out, it wasn't unpopular to like at that point. Like, I think
Yeah,
that
that's cool.
was the one where everyone was super excited
I mean,
to
at
see
least
it.
among girls, it was acceptable.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then at some point, it even became not cool as a girl. To
As a
like
girl, yeah.
Because, yeah, it was like
Still
almost
is,
ruined. but-
Yeah.
It's like
Do you
embarrassing.
guys feel embarrassed? Like, would you like go
Yeah.
outside wearing Twilight garb like freely, or would you be embarrassed?
I think I'm more,
It's embarrassing.
yeah.
I will wear any sort of Twilight attire.
Would you actually?
Yeah.
That's
If someone sends me a team
inspiring.
guy on the motorcycle, does he have a name? Someone makes a
I
custom
think
shirt. I'll
he's
wear it.
just a motorcycle guy.
Well, if you know what you got to do is you got to get a copy of the script and see what his actual title is. What if he has a name?
I'll go through the credits and see. Yeah.
Oh, the credits could work. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll look him up. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see what the guys.
Poor Angelus,
Port Angeles
Motorcycle.
Yeah.
biker guy.
Yeah. In the first one, the guys are called frat boys. The ones that like are, in the parking lot when Edward comes
Frat
and
boys
saves her.
at a
Yeah.
high school. That's inaccurate.
Yeah.
No. When she's out at night and these guys like almost attack her.
Oh.
And Edward shows up.
Oh, that. Yeah.
Their credit
All right.
name is like frat guy number 1, frat guy number 2.
Okay, there you go.
I love how you're just like
I know.
generalizing frat guys.
I know, there's nothing that indicated they were in a frat.
No, they look,
Yeah.
honestly, they look too old
Greek
back to
letters on
frat.
their shirts.
Just that they were rapey.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's enough.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
What did you think of the music?
Oh, so Mel
I know you're into
informed
music.
me that a lot, I don't know if it's not all of it, but a lot of the music in the first one is actually written and performed by, Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, 2 of the songs.
That was going to be really embarrassing if I couldn't remember his name as I'm speaking on this podcast. But I saw The Lighthouse. That was pretty good.
Me too. Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
What did you think about the
hold
We
on.
Lighthouse?
never really talked about it.
The Lighthouse was, the acting was incredible. The
Yeah.
cinematography was incredible. The music, all of that, the effects.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard to watch it because it was so like disgusting and visceral.
Yeah. It was. I felt claustrophobic.
Yeah,
watching
it made you feel though.
Yeah.
And I always say like,
Yeah.
I judge a movie's goodness on like how much it makes you feel.
Yeah.
And think and like transport your mind somewhere else. And it did a lot of that.
Yeah.
I was not expecting like the gross like body like humor and
Yeah.
shit.
The farting.
I was like,
Like a lot of farting.
I was pretty amused by that movie, actually.
Yeah.
I was hooked, but I was just like I was like intimidated. I don't know.
Which I'm usually kind of a scaredy cat. It wasn't a scary movie,
It wasn't
but
scary. It was like
Yeah.
just
But
intense.
It's
I was-
uncomfortable.
I felt
yeah.
like myself smiling through most of the movie.
It was
I
kinda
don't know why. I don't know. I agree though that the cinematography.
Oh, the last scene of
lighting
it.
and
Oh my
everything.
gosh, the very very last scene.
Oh.
That was like
with
I was
the
like
with the gulls.
no.
the
Well, I guess
seagulls?
right before that when he's looking into the light. That was.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know why it shouldn't have been. But that was really scary to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was just so intense. Anyway, the music. Yeah. The music I liked. The first Twilight has such like a undertone, like such a feel to it. Like everything gels together so perfectly in this way. It's like atmospheric, like the colors and the lighting and the music.
Yes.
It's just like a feel. Like when I think of that movie, like
Yes.
I don't know, like it evokes a very certain state
It's a
in my
vibe,
mind. It's
yeah.
a vibe.
Yeah. We always are trying to recapture that vibe in our real life too.
Yeah.
Like whenever it's like gloomy or rainy
Yeah.
outside, we're like, it feels
Let's-
like Twilight right now.
So did Robert Pattinson like release albums with that music on it? Like was he a musician before that with like records and CDs and stuff? Or?
He was like just a musician in his own, private way, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
he does have other songs, but they're not released officially. They're just like on YouTube.
No, I thought it was good.
I think he wrote those songs for
Yeah.
Twilight.
He wrote it for it? That's cool.
Yeah.
Reminds me of like Elliott Smith, if you know him. That's who he sounds
Yeah.
like. At least his style. And then I don't even remember the second one.
The second one, remember you
music.
made a comment about the possibility song? When
No.
it's panning around her, it's like, there's a possibility.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean symbolic, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to bring up the fact that I did catch the Romeo and Juliet symbol
Yes.
of the the book on her pillow in the beginning, because she's like seeing people on the opposite side, like in Romeo and Juliet. I
Yeah,
got that.
yeah. Yeah, the
Yeah,
side,
yeah.
So you think
His
it's...
symbolism, it's deep. It's not. I mean, the movie has a lot of like
Wait,
symbols floating everywhere.
explain
which is cool.
that other side.
Like the Jacob versus Edward, like the two families like against each other versus like the Montagues and the Capulets.
Yeah. That's
Symbolism.
I feel like that's so basic that I should have thought of that before, but I feel like I used to think of the Romeo and Juliet as just like two star-crossed lovers
Yeah.
to represent Bella and Edward.
Mm-hmm.
And like then there's like the suicide themes too at the end.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I like how, I mean, the thing about Twilight, it's a lot less straightforward than I thought it was going to be. Like, there's a lot of room for interpretation and like, it was thought provoking. Like I was running different scenarios through my head afterwards, and I did not think that I was going to be as engaged as I was. Like it's an engaging experience. I was like, yeah, let's watch the second one. I'm not. I mean, I would have been embarrassed to say this years ago, but like I've seen it, and it's actually, I mean, it's not my typical genre of movie that I would watch, but so far it's really, I mean, yes,
It's entertaining.
It's entertaining,
Yeah.
and it gets you thinking. I enjoyed myself watching it. there are some little minor problems that you can make fun of, but honestly, like, it's not ruining the movie.
Yeah. What would you think those little minor things are?
The first one, how the vampires run.
Yeah.
That was
My mom
embarrassing, I
always
guess.
hates that.
Yeah.
And the first one, I mean,
Talks
literally
like
when he
that.
was sitting at the desk in biology class, that was kind of just stupid looking.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that scene, but
I think when you know the context,
Yeah.
it makes sense. But I think if you're just watching
I
it
was
for the
like, what
first
hell?
time,
This is...
yeah, it's intriguing though. It kind of
Yeah.
draws you in.
I liked one of the best parts of the whole series is the inclusion of and the casting of Susie Crabgrass as declassified school survivor guy. That
Yeah.
honestly a little distracting though, because every time I see her, I'm like just brought back to
That's
Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
which is not a bad
What's her
thing.
name? Christian Serratos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does she carry
plays
on from movie to
Angela.
movie?
She's in all of them besides
Oh.
the last one.
Oh, so she
Yeah.
dies.
Yeah.
What? No. That's
No,
Susie
no, no. I
Crabgrass.
didn't mean to say yes.
Is Ned
You'll
in the
have to
last
keep
one?
watching.
Okay. Okay,
You'll have to see. Yeah.
I will.
There is a good deleted scene with her in it in a clip.
she gets her acting moment.
Yeah.
Cut
Ooh,
out.
really? Oh.
Yeah.
Does she do anything anymore, Susie?
I don't know.
What's her name? I keep calling her Susie.
No, is it Christian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christian.
I feel like she was a redhead on Ned's Day Classified, wasn't
What?
she?
Was she popular on
No.
Ned's Classified?
I think she was.
Yeah,
his
she was I mean,
crush.
Ned's crush.
Yeah.
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 She wasn't like ultra popular. She was more just I don't know, middle of the road.
Yeah, when I first saw her in Twilight, that was my first thought too.
Susie Crabgrass.
Oh my gosh.
They got Susie Crabgrass. It's an impressive casting.
It
but I
is.
don't
It
know.
is impressive. It's kind of crazy how Anna Kendrick's in Twilight and then she blew up after. And
Oh
then
yeah, that's kind of cool.
when you watch it later, it's like this
Yeah.
big star, but she's kind of a minor character in the series.
I love that. I love when when one single movie or show can like, I don't know, start the career of like so many different people all
Yeah.
at the same time. It's really
Yeah,
impressive.
I mean, so many of the stars, the Cullens, like became
Their careers were built off of this one thing. Yeah.
exactly this one thing,
Yeah.
and they were kind of barely in it. Some of them. What did you think about the Cullens? Do you have any opinions?
Well, let me think through them all. There's one that just really rubs me the wrong way, and I can't stand.
I think it was Jasper.
What's his power again? Is he the one?
Mind control.
No mood.
Control.
Oh, I hate
Yeah.
him.
You hate
Sleazebag.
You hate. Why is he sleazebag?
He just, I don't know. He just, literally his facial expressions make me want to punch him. Who else do we get?
That's-
Can you run through them all?
shocked.
Okay, there's Alice. She's the one who can see the future.
Oh, I don't know.
The
She's
short
quirky and fun.
She's with
I'm drawn to
Jasper.
her.
Yeah.
She's just, I don't know. She seems like a fun dude.
Yeah.
There's Emmett. He's the big one.
Oh, you know who we have to talk about?
Who?
Marcus, the sexy
Oh,
beast sitting
yeah,
in the front.
in the
He's
Volturi.
my heartthrob.
Yeah.
Sexy.
He is like a god.
one?
Look
Yeah.
at him. He's like 9 feet tall.
Yeah.
Oh
We
my
met
God.
him. We met
I know
him.
you met that actor.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Marcus for a minute.
Okay.
I don't know who the hell he is or what he stands for. I just love this guy. He's my favorite character besides the motorcycle
It's
guy.
pretty
I love this.
interesting, his movie portrayal, because in the book he's supposed to be 19,
What? Oh,
right? According to the
Really?
I
guy.
think he's like 40 or
Yeah,
something.
I'm
in
pretty
this.
sure he's supposed to be young.
In this
In the
season-
book.
I like that he's old.
Me
though.
too, yeah.
He just like sits back with this like godlike majesty.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So he really captured your attention
Oh
in
yes.
the Volturi
Oh yes.
scene.
Extremely attractive.
Do you actually think he's good looking?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think it's not in the traditional sense. It's like
It's
he looks like a king.
Yeah.
It's like this powerful
yeah.
sort of.
I see that.
You know
I'd kiss him. Yeah.
I wish the actor would know that, because he had so few lines.
Oh
and
my
yet
God.
he
Favorite
was
character.
able in the background he was able to capture your attention so much
I
with
couldn't.
just his
I
aura.
think I missed that whole scene because I was like affixed to his
You're like,
his chiseled jawline and his locks are there.
What did you think about Michael Sheen as Aro?
Wait, remind me. Oh wait,
He's
that's
like
the main.
The main dude?
Yeah.
he's like a slithery, slimy looking dude in that movie. But he was
Yeah.
perfect for the role. I think. I think he did a great job. I love. I also love the head of the Cullens. What's his name? The doctor.
Carlisle. Oh yeah.
I just think cool background, cool story,
Yeah.
cool guy. He's got cool hair.
Did you pick up on tension between him and Bella when he was sewing up her cut? And
Well, I know that, he's like this all-knowing, like, he's been around for, like, since you said, like, BC, right?
yeah.
And the fact that he can't, like, read her thoughts and nobody, I don't know, this...
Well, he
wait,
can't read
that's Aro.
anybody's thoughts.
Or-
Oh, wait, Aro can, yeah.
No, you're asking
mixed
about
up. Wait.
Carlisle now.
Yeah.
Well, nobody's powers, right, can work on her.
Yeah, no.
I feel like this guy who's been around for, like, 2,000 plus years,
Yeah.
there must be some tension if he can't,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, his passion's compassion.
Well, can
I
you
mean,
not feel
his
compassion?
power's compassion.
We
You
are
can't feel
confused.
compassion.
Yeah.
Dan thinks we're talking about Aro.
No, I'm talking about the doctor.
You're talking
Okay.
about the doctor,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh wait, he hasn't been around for thousands of years.
Yeah, he's been around since BC.
I think he's only been around for a few hundred years.
Dr.
Oh,
Carl?
really?
Yeah.
Let me look this up.
Okay.
Pause
alright.
it.
Okay, now.
Okay, I was wrong. It was 1640.
So now I have to rethink everything.
Yeah, so when I said he's been around since BC,
That swayed how I looked
Influenced,
at him, yeah. But
yeah.
1640 is still freaking 500 years.
it's still old, yeah.
That counts.
But Aro's been around since BC, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got them confused. I'm
So-
sorry, big
Okay.
fan.
She was asking if you felt sexual tension
Between Bella and Carlisle.
No, I didn't.
No.
I don't
during the
remember that
Stitches
much.
scene.
Yeah, well, your dishwasher was on, and I feel like that was taken
You're like-
away.
You're like, so when's this dishwasher cycle gonna end?
No way.
I feel
Yeah.
like that was getting.
And you
weren't-
refused to eat the chips when the dishwasher was running because that would be like a double volume block.
That's
And you're like,
true,
okay,
though.
you're like, as soon as the dishwasher's done, we're gonna pause it and get chips and come back.
Yeah.
That's funny.
One volume block at a time.
Yeah. I felt like that was kind of taking away from the beginning of the movie.
You know what? For me, it did not.
Okay.
I'll say. I was so laser focused
Good.
on Marcus's job.
What do you think of Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson's performance,
Yeah.
appearance,
Honestly,
whatever?
I have not. I mean, literally the only thing I've seen with Robert Pattinson before this was The Lighthouse.
What about the Goblet of Fire?
No, never saw it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no. And I'd never seen anything with Kristen Stewart, so I didn't know what was going to happen or what they were going to be like. I didn't have any expectations. But I thought they were. I mean, Kristen Stewart for playing an angsty teenager who's, horny for monsters. Great job. And Edward definitely portrays the kind of character he's supposed to. I think they both do a fine job.
What did you think about Taylor Lautner's performance?
First of all, weird as fuck that how old was he? Like 16 in the second one? That he was that buff?
He's
Yeah.
16,
That's
17.
almost disturbing.
Yeah.
And it was weird the story you told me about like how he was going to be recast if he didn't get that big and he
Yeah.
had to. And then all of the guys that he was hanging out in his clan with weren't that big.
They were.
know.
At all?
No, it's not fair.
It's not fair.
So I think he earned his spot more than enough so.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
And there's something about I just don't like his face.
Yeah.
But he's a fine actor, I guess.
I don't like his face either. No
Punchable
offense.
face.
I'm sorry to. Wow, I'm having deja vu right now. Really strong deja vu. But
We've probably said this before.
I don't want to hurt people's feelings, like him and Taylor. If you're listening, please.
Yeah, Taylor. And we really want to get her on the show. I don't have this much
Wait,
I
wait,
forget that it's just us three talking.
Yeah.
But his face really bugs me too.
What about it?
It's
His
just
nose.
I don't know. It's just more the the facial expressions too. I don't know, just
Yeah.
shut up.
Wasn't it his voice you didn't
Plus
like
his voice.
too?
Voice plus
A little
face.
bit of voice.
I'm just filling out Bella. Like,
I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to put my finger on. I just know I don't like it.
Yeah. Is it specific to the character you don't like it and the story, or if you met him in real life,
Oh,
would
I'm
you
sure.
not?
No. That wouldn't bother me in real life. It's
Yeah.
definitely specific to the movie. I think.
Yeah.
And his character, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to say it.
It's you.
It
You,
bothers me.
you don't
His
trust
face
him.
bothers me. There's
Yeah.
something going on behind his eyes. I don't know. He's probably wants to just bang her. I don't know.
Did you ever feel yourself moving towards Team Jacob in New Moon?
Here's the thing. I never really necessarily disliked Jacob per se too much. I understand where he's coming from as an angsty, hormonal teenage boy werewolf man. I don't think I was ever Team Jacob though, because I had already, the love between Edward and Bella had already been established.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
That's how I always felt. Is I don't understand.
but I don't not like it.
Yeah. I always felt the same way. I loved that first story and got so invested in it. So I couldn't picture myself, how could I possibly change the person I'm rooting for?
I mean, I tried to go in with an open mind and not necessarily say, oh, I'm on this team, therefore I reject everything that Jacob does. I just, after seeing the first two, I genuinely see that there is a truthful, meaningful bond between them, and there is not as much of that with Jacob, and that is why I associate myself more with Edward.
Yeah.
Well, behind the motorcycle guy.
And do you think, we've talked about this a bit, because we had a whole Team Jacob episode, where sometimes we try to figure out if you're Team Jacob or if you're Team Edward, if that says something about your personality. And I think it can be different for guys or straight guys versus straight women, I guess. It's like, for women, it could be like, which one do you want to be with? But for a guy, it's like, okay, if I had a girlfriend and someone like Jacob came around, how would I feel?
Yes. I mean, that honestly didn't really play too big of a role in it, but I could see myself really hating his fucking guts.
Yeah.
Wait till you see a clip.
Yeah, just wait. Oh my gosh.
Oh, jeez.
I think Jacob is fine, even... I still like him enough in New Moon. I mean, I think he's a little mean to Mike Newton, but in Eclipse, that's when more happens. And
The movie theater scene, he's horribly mean to Mike.
Again, I know, but like teenage werewolf boy.
Yeah.
And I can understand why people are Team Jacob, and I don't. There are absolutely logical reasons for both sides. Like, again, Edward, 109 years old, kind of creepy, kind of weird.
cold.
He's not for everyone.
And he's extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, and has risked her life like a million times. I don't know, I'm romanticizing Edward and Bella so much that I don't even give a shit about like, that she almost died like 12 times.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Some people see a problem with that, though. Some people see a problem with that. You're kind of romanticizing this physical violence. Yeah.
I think it's a much more practical, logical, and reasonable team to be with Jacob. I think it is. And I see the logic and I appreciate it, and I don't think that there's a right side. I'm just a romantic piece of shit.
Yeah.
That's why I like Edward.
That's so sweet. But, so when we were watching the movie, when Jacob answered the phone and made it seem like Bella was dead.
Oh my god!
You said at that point, "All right, that's it. I'm not turning back."
Fucks Jacob. I mean.
Oh yeah, that was such a dick move.
Yeah, you were like, "I'm decided. I'm Team Edward."
I did say that, although I should continue to have an open mind. I should, but yes, I fucking hated that with my guts.
If you decided at that point that you feel like you're Team Edward, to be honest, I can't see you changing your mind in Eclipse.
I'm gonna try to be open-minded. I doubt it, but I'm going to give it a fair chance all the way to the end.
Yeah. I mean, that was horrible, wasn't it?
It was horrible, horrendous. How could he?
He didn't ask for you. Like, what? Oh my god.
Bella, it's Edward. He thinks you're dead.
Also, who says, like, he's arranging
a funeral? Wouldn't you say, you would give more context?
Yeah.
Yeah. You would say, like...
Just nonchalantly. Oh, yeah.
He's
not with us anymore.
Yeah. He can't come to the phone right now. He's arranging a funeral.
No.
Hangs up. Like, he literally hangs up. But you should say, he's planning a funeral right now for a close friend, or he's not home. Can I take a message? That's all he should have said. And who answers somebody else's phone?
What is up with that?
Yeah,
that was extremely impolite.
That was rude in itself.
That's why I don't. Another reason that docks Jake. That's a -1. For
yeah, I mean that's a boundary
Never answer
issue.
someone else's phone.
No, unless they say I can't pick that up. Can you get it?
Can you get it? Then Jacob, you can lie, say she died, all this. That's
yeah,
Bella was right there.
Yeah, exactly.
She could have picked up the phone.
I mean that's like patronizing in itself, because Bella could have reached for the phone herself. She was in a fine state of mind.
Oh my gosh.
She didn't even say, like, want me to get it? Or...
Yeah.
Is he trying to be the man to be impressive?
I think so.
I pick up the phone. I'm a big, strong man.
Maybe.
I don't think Edward would have picked up Bella's phone. I don't know.
I think he would have asked.
I think, he would have said, is it okay
if I pick this up?
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think...
It's your father.
He is definitely
Yes.
like a wimpy boy in some senses, but at the same time,
Edward.
Yeah.
his image is, but like he can still stop like an SUV from like
Yeah.
careening through a parking lot.
There's a balance.
He's strong. He just doesn't come off as the strong type.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see them fight. Jacob and Edward. There's
Yeah.
gonna be a fight.
There's
gonna be a fight.
yeah, there's the love triangle reaches its peak in the next movie. Do you have any predictions?
Oh shit. No. None.
No.
Okay.
That's fine.
I don't know right
Yeah.
He predicts a fight.
Is there anything you're looking forward to? Like
now. More
fighting.
romantic catharsis.
Yes.
There needs to be more of that. I need that.
Need them
I need
to
it bad.
kiss.
Or more.
Yeah.
I know.
Although the more I think about him being 109, I don't know.
But she's older in the next ones.
It doesn't matter if he's 110.
If you stayed looking the way you are and you were never able to
That's a good point.
never able to be a parent or even get that high in a job because you have to keep moving, or you never really get treated as...
And you're literally in high school the whole
Yeah,
time.
like if we stayed as we are right now for like 100 years,
true.
would you really feel like you are? I don't know.
And when you have
Yeah.
the same body, like as a young person, I feel like that also messes with it too.
Yeah. I mean, would it be creepier if he was with a 80-year-old, 90-year-old woman?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Because I mean, people would
If he
definitely reject to it publicly more. Like,
Yeah.
What the hell? It's like, I'm 109. I'm
If
sorry.
he was hanging around the...
Now listen, the dude also,
Nursing home.
the dude really shouldn't be dating people who are that old. That's just like, that's irresponsible. Like you can't date someone who's like 90 years old. It's just silly.
Yeah.
So he's got no other choice.
Exactly. I mean,
Imagine the lucky woman
yeah.
in the nursing home that
Yeah.
captures
How old
his
are you?
heart.
She'd probably think that she was like delusioning him, just
Yeah.
watching her.
No, this is legit. I swear. See my birth certificate. I'm legit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that lucky granny. Hot diggity.
Gives me this attractive young man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Why do old ladies always like? It's so normal for old ladies to be into like really really young guys and like
Yeah.
ooh and like if an old man did that is like
Yeah.
no.
I mean, when they
Creepy.
do that, it's disturbing.
My dad, so my grandmother is in a assisted living place, and like there's a lot of people who have like literally lost their minds, and my dad
Yeah.
walks around to go like visit my my grandmother, and like old ladies will come up to him and like pinch his butt and like
Oh
pull
my
him and
god,
stuff.
that's so bad.
Oh my gosh,
Pinch
yeah.
his butt.
Yeah, like there was this one lady who would like repeat. He would have to avoid her
Oh gosh.
because I think she thought that he was like her late husband or something.
Oh my god.
Really weird.
Well, I used to volunteer at the senior center
Oh yeah.
when I was 15, 16, and the men there were so creepy. It was horrible. Like I was just doing it to get my community service hours in, and like doing it for
Like leave me alone.
yeah, doing it for like CCD to get confirmed, and people would just be disgusting. Like honestly, it wasn't worth it.
I get so excited when I meet like a really old person who's so mentally with it and
Yeah.
it's not creepy. I'm like,
Yeah.
I really really
so
admire
genuinely
you.
nice.
I really admire you
Yeah.
as a person, but those are not easy to come by.
I'm telling you, there was like a few old men there who were really sweet, and they were the ones who were like kind of like far gone. But then there were ones who were like only like 65, 70, and they were so perverted and disgusting.
If you're
To a
65 and you're hanging
16-year-old.
out in the senior center, come
Yeah,
on, dude. You've
yeah.
been up a bit. You're only 65. It's not
Yeah.
that bad. Like, oh my gosh, have you guys watched Queer Eye?
A bit of
the,
it,
the
yeah.
new one, the
No, I
first
haven't seen
episode, the first episode of the new series of the first season. There's this guy who is literally 57 years old.
Oh wait, of the first episode of the new one with like the Fab Five.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, you know Tom. He's
Yeah.
57, and he
Yeah.
hangs out with all these old men, and he thinks he's an old geezer, and he's given up on life. He's
Yeah.
fucking 57.
Yeah. Yeah, youthing up.
And he's part of the Romeo Club, which stands for Retired Old Men Eating Out, because they go out to eat and just like shit around all day. He's
57, 50. I mean,
young.
my parents are 16.
Yeah.
I don't think of
No,
them as
no,
old people.
not at all.
Yeah.
What?
60, I feel like 70 is when you're like, you can say you're old.
Yeah, I guess probably 70.
Do we have any 70-year-old listeners? I don't know. Maybe.
Love
But
you
like,
guys.
I
life
think-
expectancies are getting higher and higher and higher. every year.
Exactly. I mean, you're so much younger now when
Like
you're...
80 is the new 70.
Yeah, you really are so much younger. Like when you're 40 now, like you're basically still a teenager.
Yeah. And like
40 is basically a teenager.
Yeah.
in like the 1700s, like if you lived like past 50, like you lived a full life.
Yeah.
And that was only a couple hundred years ago.
And now people are living to like 100, so.
They say the first person that hit, I mean, I don't know. But they say, I don't know who they is, they say the first person to hit 150 has been born.
Oh my gosh. But do you think that will happen with.
Think about it. So people have hit 120. Like the oldest
Yeah.
lady, this French lady, like 122
That's
or 3.
insane.
She died in 1997.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's like.
So this lady, she was born in like the 1870s. So she saw like cars, electricity.
Oh,
the
wait, did she
1997,
die?
she saw the internet. She saw TV, movies, everything.
Everything.
She had the best life ever.
That's crazy.
She lived to see
Man, I
all
love
of
the
it.
1800s too.
Was she with it when she was
I don't
120?
know. I'm not sure. She was, I think, 122. She was in France.
That's literally like my whole life that I've lived after being 100
Tack
years
100.
old.
Yeah, could you imagine that? You're 100 and you still have all
That's
that shit to go
so
through.
long.
Yeah.
It's weird though, because like, I don't know, being fertility and everything stays the same at like,
Yeah,
the beginning of your life.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you still can't wait till you're like 60 to like
It's not going to work that
be
way
an
yet.
adult
Yeah.
now. Like,
Yeah.
But I mean,
My
but
life together.
there are, because of like modern inventions, people can have. Janet Jackson just had a kid at like 50. So you can
my
still do
God.
it if you
Wow.
wanted to.
My uncle's friend had a kid at like 51. That like real, like natural birth, everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, although I will say, I feel like sometimes when people have kids, like when they're too old, like into their 60s,
It gets
like
scary.
men, I think like,
Oh yeah, like Mick Jagger has like kids who are like under 10.
Yeah.
And he's in his 70s.
I feel like in that way, I mean, I don't want to like shit on anyone. Like, I totally understand. Like, you just want a family, but like, you're kind of setting your kids up for like to experience a loss early in their life.
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
got to be jarring for them. But it's rough because you can't take the. I mean, like if someone finds someone they love at that age and they really just want a son or a daughter, like
I went to girl with a
freedom to them.
I went to school with a girl. She's probably not listening, so she like told me on the first day of school that her dad had just passed away 2 years ago, and I said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry." And she goes, "Yeah, he was 95."
crazy.
95.
Holy crap.
2 years before, when she was 17, he died at 95.
Whoa.
Father. Okay.
Isn't that crazy? And she didn't have a relationship with her
imagine that?
mom, so she was being raised by her
Imagine
father
getting
in
driven
his
to
90s.
kindergarten by your 78-year-old dad.
Yeah. I mean,
Is that your great grandfather?
yeah, it's
No,
so
my dad.
crazy.
Wow.
But she said that she didn't even it was so normal to her that she didn't even think about it. That's like older than my grandparents would even be if they were alive today.
Think about
My goodness.
He would be in his hundreds now.
it. Yeah. Yikes.
That's so crazy, but it's interesting.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Aging.
Aging, yeah. We want to do an episode on like mortality in Twilight and just the theme of that eventually.
yeah, I expect to see some people die at some point. I haven't really seen much of that. Except that the Native American dude in the forest. That was sad.
Yeah, Harry Clearwater. You did get Harry Clearwater and Billy confused. He saw Harry and then he goes,
Oh,
"Why is he walking?"
Like, the jig is up, Billy.
Why is he walking? The jig is up. Oh yeah, we have to say in our last episode, in the commentary, we talked about the part where it's like, Billy's strong. I mean, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, Billy's strong. Like,
Yeah.
Charlie's strong. That part was about when he
strong.
lifts up Billy in the wheelchair.
yeah,
I
yeah,
actually
yeah.
did think about that after, but people let us know.
Charlie's strong.
You wouldn't get it because you don't listen to our podcast.
Yeah, never have.
Do you think that once you...
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll listen to this episode and then cut ties.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
No, but you talking about needing that romantic catharsis or whatever.
Yeah.
We always talk about that.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's such a tension. Like,
It
you need to
turns
release.
us
Yeah.
into perverts,
Yeah.
obviously, because we're like, oh, I just need
I mean,
that.
We
just-
need
We
it.
don't get anything. Spoiler, you never get, in the books too, sorry, this sounds perverted, you never get a description of anything below the belt.
Yeah, which is...
I'm ashamed.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed.
Well, so we are starting, because apparently in the movies, the some of the kissing scenes were a lot steamier, but because they're trying to make
Steamy.
it PG-13, they had to cut it down.
Yeah,
so
because
it's,
a lot of little girls are watching it.
yeah, but so we are trying to start a petition. It hasn't gone viral yet, but for them to release the uncut
Oh, shit.
scenes.
I'll sign that shit.
Yeah, we are pretty shy of our goal.
What's the goal?
I want in the millions. Right now we're at about 200.
Well, you're almost there.
I think we need millions.
I would like in the millions to prove a point.
To prove a point. Oh,
But-
you prove a point with millions. So by millions, you mean at least 2 million, right?
Yeah.
All right, so 2 million is
Didn't
the
you
goal.
at first say
So you're
I
what?
said like 100 million.
You're like, what, 10,000 times away from your goal?
But I want to show the economic value of releasing it, because we would pay money to see it. I would.
Oh, yeah. What if they just released in the
just
theaters a
released
compilation
it.
of just those scenes? That would be bad. It'd be like,
I would pay for that.
It'd be cool. Entertainment Weekly would be like, wow, nothing has ever been done like this before.
No, nothing.
that'd be like 50 Shades of Grey,
It's
though.
it's
Like,
not even the placed in the movie at all. It's just the unedited
Yeah.
sex
scene
scene.
1, scene 2, scene 3, back to back.
That really never
Oh.
has been done before. I mean, that would be historic.
Revolutionary.
Yeah.
Start a whole new film movement.
It would be
So
historic.
raw,
Yeah.
uncut.
I would go. I would pay like double the price of a movie ticket just for like 20 minutes of.
Just 20 minutes. I pay $100 for some steam.
Perfect.
I think
I paid double.
we're not alone in this.
Oh,
though.
no. There's no way you are.
I mean, we're older now, you know, and there is definitely a new generation of people enjoying the movies for the first time, but they can handle it. I mean, the things that they're watching now, like Euphoria, and like
Do teens even watch Euphoria?
I don't
What's
know. I don't
Euphoria?
know what teens. It's on HBO.
I'll tell you what teens watch. They watch YouTube.
Yeah, they
true.
do watch YouTube.
And literally, I mean, they, like my sisters, like
They don't watch
in
TV.
middle school, high school, they don't watch TV. They
Yeah.
don't watch TV at all. Their entire entertainment, all of their celebrities are not TV stars. They're not on shows. They're not in movies. Their
No, they're
celebrities
all
are
YouTubers.
internet influencers and YouTubers
And podcasters.
and TikTokers and all that shit.
Yeah,
No, but
it's so crazy.
even like just being 5 years older than some of my siblings, like very, very different look on like what a celebrity is.
Yeah.
Like to me, those
Yeah.
people are not celebrities, even though they clearly are.
Yeah, but they're
Yeah.
not household names.
Not at all.
None of them. Like,
no, it's not like. Well, they will be in the future when they grow
That's
up.
true.
Maybe.
But a lot of things are really niche. It's almost like isolated in a way.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, I feel like if a YouTuber was walking down the street, I wouldn't know who they are.
No.
yeah.
Like, even like Logan Paul, I feel like he would just like blend in. Like, I wouldn't be like, oh yeah.
I mean, it is just those people who are like under 20.
Who's like the most famous YouTuber? I don't even know.
Like as of now, like today, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Jenna Marbles? No, that's old. That's like
old,
years ago.
See, we're so far removed, even though
Yeah.
only a few years older. There was a
Yeah.
like clear cultural shift.
That's why I feel like I identify as a millennial, because we're 1996,
Well,
so
yeah.
we're kind of on the cusp. But
I
I don't.
mean, we're.
Me and you.
No.
Oh, you're 95.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get your
Okay.
facts
Sorry.
right. I'm a millennial.
I'm 94.
Yeah. So
The
yeah,
whole-
you definitely.
The thing is, like, there is no like generations are made up. There's no like definite. This is the date, and
Yeah.
after this date, it just depends on how you grew up and your context. Like
Yeah,
someone living on a
exactly.
farm in Iowa who was born in 1995 compared to someone who was like in New York City in 1995, extremely different. You know,
Yeah.
extremely
Totally.
different life.
But like it's like I had a VHS player like for like most of my childhood, and like I remember getting like the first DVD.
Yeah, I
And
remember
Yeah.
that shit too.
I remember like 9/11 happening, so I feel like that makes me a millennial.
Automatic. You earned it, Mel. You
Yeah,
earned
I
it.
earned it.
Mel knows how to use a VCR, so she's a millennial.
Yeah, I had a tape player, cassette tape.
Yeah, yeah. Look at my shirt.
I
right
didn't
now.
have a smart. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Cassette on
Do you
my
want to
shirt.
talk about your history in radio?
Oh yeah. So if you couldn't tell from my impressive vocal skills, I was a radio broadcaster for 4 years in Western Mass. Had my own radio show called Cassettes on the Dash, and there's still a Facebook page. I mean, it's active, but we haven't posted on it since I don't know, like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Check it out though.
What's it called? Just
Cassettes on the Dash. Yeah.
What did you guys talk about?
Well, it was a music show, so we played
so cool.
obscure old school alternative rock, punk rock, etc. Mostly late 80s, early 90s, but also like 70s up to like the 2000s. But that was like the focal point was like late 80s, early 90s.
That's so cool.
We played the stuff that like was played often on college radio back then that has since been forgotten. We were trying to bring it back into the like forefront.
I love that.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
It?
Yes. Yeah.
Is there any way you can do radio again?
I mean, I'm doing it right now. Hello, Amherst. Anyone from Western Mass recognize my fucking voice?
It's possible.
Yeah, 30-mile radius FM radio out of Amherst. You could hear us from southern Vermont all the way down to Hartford, Connecticut.
Oh, wow. That's a big reach.
Yeah.
I always
Springfield.
I love radio, and like I always wanted to do radio, and I was so jealous of Emerson Radio. I wish I
Oh,
really-
Emerson, okay, the best.
I know.
They're the 88.9.
I still listen to it like every day.
They're my number one channel.
Yeah,
George
me
Knight,
too.
God.
Yeah. I used to love WFNX, and I was like so upset when it went off the air. But Emerson Radio is a good replacement.
Would you listen to like Emerson students talking on the radio?
Yeah, they do stuff.
They
Oh,
do.
really?
Yeah.
You know what did offend me though?
I should've
So
done it.
Emerson, they're literally like the best. I love them and 92.5 The River.
Yeah.
Me too.
But Emerson was like, yeah, we are the original college radio station celebrating our 70th anniversary.
Yeah.
But they're
They
not
have
the
been
original.
saying that.
They're not the original because I was WMUA out of UMass Amherst.
Mm-hmm.
They're, I think, now celebrating their 72nd birthday.
Yeah. There's probably some before that you haven't even heard of, right?
I don't know, but I'm just saying we're around longer than
Yeah.
Emerson's. Just saying, Emerson, as much as I love you, we're older.
That's
Yeah.
some false marketing on their
Yeah.
part.
Interestingly enough, they like stopped saying it. I don't know, maybe
Oh,
someone told
really?
them.
So maybe someone
I almost sent them an
complained.
angry letter.
Really?
Written in my own blood. Yeah. No, but yeah, check out my Facebook page for a
Yeah.
bunch of shenanigans. I do have like almost all my shows recorded too, so I can still listen
oh,
back
that's
to them.
cool.
Yeah, I feel like our listeners would be interested
Jive
in
with
that.
that? Oh, hell yeah.
Are they posted like on
The
your
recordings?
Facebook? Yeah.
So we posted them on a website through the radio station that has since been like altered, so they got taken down. So I mean,
that
I just have them
sucks.
on my Google Drive.
Yeah. You should put them on YouTube or something.
Yeah, the copyright stuff.
Oh gosh, that's the most annoying.
Because it's just
I
song
know,
after song after
so
song after song after song.
Yeah.
And then in the middle of songs, so it was a 2-hour show once a week. We'd play like 5 songs, have a vocal break where we would joke around. We had skits and stuff we'd talk about the music and then songs. And it would just
That's
alternate
sick.
to the end. It was fun.
My school only had like internet radio, and like no one really listened to it. I did it, but it was stupid. And
Oh, you did it?
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
I had a show, but
I
It's just
totally
so
forgot
fun.
about that.
yeah.
I'm remembering it now.
The good thing about WMUA was like, as long as you weren't profane, you could play and talk about whatever you wanted if you got approved for a show.
Yeah.
It wasn't, here are your list of approved songs. Here's a playlist like a lot of syndicated radio stations
Yeah.
have. Like, I played the weirdest. Me and my friend Morgan played all of the music we wanted to play, and it was great.
Yeah.
It seems
That's
like Emerson
so
is close to
fun.
that, but I'm
That's
not
so
sure
fun.
if they're the exact same.
Yeah. I would have been too nervous to do the
I mean,
radio
it was-
when I was in school.
What was great about it is that they started you out 2 to 4 a.m. That was your slot.
So you
and so
didn't have
you
to
could
worry.
make mistakes.
Yeah.
You could like mess
Yeah.
shit up all the time. And then eventually at the end, our last 3 semesters were 6 to 8 p.m. on Thursday, which was like one of the golden slots because it's
That's
like
awesome.
Yeah.
nighttime party and stuff.
I want to do that.
It was so fun.
It's just so fun to pick music too.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know, 2 songs next to each other.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Just
It's like building your own
Yeah.
piece. It's building your own piece of art. Like you
Yeah.
can't. You're not just like this song. Like you have to make sure.
Yeah.
Like you have to pay attention to like sometimes like how the keys of the songs at the ending and
Yeah.
beginning make sense together, and like the rhythm of
How
it. There's
would you prepare
It would take
before
10
you took-
hours to
Wow.
make a 2-hour playlist. Yeah.
That's fun. So I feel like some
Amazing.
people would just think that you just kind of go in.
No,
and,
it was
Yeah.
I was extremely serious about it. Yeah.
I don't know about Emerson because they do sometimes play random things, but they also do play the same top like alternative songs right now. To the
We
point
had a
where I
ru-
get sick of them.
Yeah, we had a rule at our radio station that said like you can't play anything in the top 40, and like me
Wow.
and my co-host gave ourselves the challenge of we can't repeat any songs and like we tried not to like do bands back to back and stuff. So in the end, we did over like 500 different bands on our show, which was like exhausting.
Wow.
That's why it took me so freaking long to make these playlists, because like literally for like the hundreds of shows we did, I could never repeat the same song. So it took so much effort.
Yeah, and you'd have to have like a list and like go back to see what you've done before.
Yeah. I mean, I was way too over the top.
Do you still
I
have
loved
those?
it. Yeah.
Do you still have those playlists public anywhere?
If you scroll back on the page, you can find some that we actually posted. But I have them all on my drive again.
Yeah.
Cool.
And like I'd write very, very specific timestamp notes to when I should fade into the next song. And we do like hand signals, and my co-host would like move up the fader. It was really cool. We had a whole system.
That's fun.
Like, go now.
That's really fun. I wonder if we'll ever do radio.
No.
I think you should. I think you should
I mean,
listen to the Twilight soundtracks because you're so
They're
into
so
music.
good.
They're so honestly, it's one of the best things about Twilight.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked Robert Pattinson's music. It was good.
Yeah.
It's really raw energy.
Especially the Twilight and New Moon soundtracks.
The New Moon one is our favorite. It's so
Are there
good.
any like famous musicians or songs ever used, or do they tend to purposefully be more obscure?
Not famous songs, but famous bands. I mean, famous alternative bands.
Oh, isn't it like
but,
Muse?
Muse.
Supermassive Black Hole is a pretty well-known song.
Yes. Yeah.
In Twilight, there's a Radiohead song.
There's
Death Cab
Paramore.
for Cutie. Yeah, Paramore.
Oh, cool.
Bon Iver's in New Moon.
Bon Iver. Bon Iver.
Iron and Wine is in Twilight.
Oh, I love Iron and Wine.
Yeah. Oh, I
We
don't
played
know.
them on my show.
I don't.
What?
I don't know if you really caught the prom scene that they play, but it's such a beautiful song. Kristen Stewart actually picked it out for this scene. It's called "Flightless Bird, American Mouth," and you should listen to it. It's gonna be both Kelly and I's separate wedding songs.
Oh,
To our hopefully someday if we get married.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then like the later movies, again, it's like once they have more money, it makes it so much worse. They have like Bruno Mars, you know that song like "It Will Rain."
probably, but not.
They have
really.
Christina Perri. I mean, she wrote the song, but it's like the 1,000 Years.
And
Yeah,
they
you
have
know
a
it.
lot of people. I mean, they even have Green Day on one of the last.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard the new
Passion
song by Green Day that's
Yeah.
on the radio? It doesn't sound like them at
It
all.
doesn't.
I
Who
haven't.
is singing?
I
It sounds
haven't
like
heard
the
it.
Black Keys or something.
Who the hell is even singing? It sucks.
I actually kind of like the song, but it doesn't
just-
sound like Green
Yes,
Day.
when you match it to
Yeah.
Green Day, I'm like, this
The
is
one
not
that's
Green
like
Day.
that one. Yeah.
I haven't
Yeah.
heard it.
It's fucking not Green Day
It's
at all.
crazy.
It's not. I'm mad.
It's a little sad. You can like tell that. I mean, they had to do
They're
something.
conforming.
They couldn't really keep doing the same sound, but
For all of the members of Green Day listening, no.
you can just see that they're jumping on what's the sound for indie or alternative
Yeah,
rock right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not the way to do it, though. That's not art. No. Bandwagon.
Green Day.
They were the pioneers of pop punk, and one of the pioneers.
Yeah. They don't. I will say
happens.
I don't think they. Spoiler. They don't really fit in the Twilight soundtrack.
What song is it?
What's it called?
Is it Time of Your Life? No. Hope you have the time.
It's an original song for Twilight. It's like
The Forgotten or something.
yeah.
Isn't one of the more emotional ballady
It's a
ones?
credit song, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't fit, but we'll talk about that in the Breaking Down soundtrack episode. Oh,
Twilight,
this is me going back, but what did you think about the baseball scene?
Oh, I thought that was. That was just a really fun scene. I
Yeah,
don't know.
wasn't it great?
It was. I don't know what to say about it. It was just cute and fun.
Yeah.
Unexpected, but it like injected a little like sort of different tonality in the movie. Like it was. I don't know. It made it more interesting.
Yeah.
It broke it up. Gave you some relief from the intense drama.
Yeah.
Here's the guys playing baseball.
Yeah.
Would you
Yeah.
consider it one of the best baseball movies of all time?
Yes. No, I can't say that on microphone.
So do you think
Not true.
Do you think now, if you're talking to someone and they're like shitting on
I'll say,
Twilight,
fuck you.
Really?
You ain't seen those movies. No, I can't. I have to see the rest of them first. I'm not. I don't.
would
I'm
you
not
defend
like
them?
to a certain extent.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily like a big old like Twilight fan yet or
Yeah.
anything. I've watched the movies once each, the first two, and they were thought provoking, engaging, interesting, not bad,
Yeah.
fine. It's not really my cup of tea per se, but I I enjoyed watching them. I did. So I don't think they're not balls
Yeah,
of
so
shit.
yeah.
What
like
will
people
you
say they are.
say if it comes up someday?
Well, I don't know.
Pretty
Probably
much
raise
just
both
that.
my fists in the air and then start screaming uncontrollably until I die.
It's hard when you asked us before if we're embarrassed. I feel like because I have this podcast in a way, I'm like, well, like, we know how many people are still into it. And it's just rising and rising.
That's
So
cool.
in a way, I'm not, because I'm so proud of this podcast and like the community that we've found from it.
Yeah.
And we interviewed someone at the Twilight Festival that we went to, and she said, it's fine if people make fun of Twilight, but when people make fun of Twilight fans, like, that's what she had a problem with, because...
Why do you have to shit on someone else's interest?
Exactly. And it's like, I mean, so many of our listeners and the people we've met from this podcast are just the nicest people.
And if something makes you happy, and
Yeah.
you're not, like, murdering people with it, like, hey, like what's wrong with that?
Exactly. Like, I don't know why people would feel threatened by that, but yeah, I still don't like go around like telling everybody that I love it, because I just
Twilight-
don't feel like
wait,
getting into that conversation.
Is there a name, like, do you refer to yourselves as something like Twilight fans? Is there a title like Deadheads for the Grateful Dead?
It's like Twihards.
Oh god.
I don't really call
don't-
myself
yeah,
a
I don't
Twihard.
call myself-
Well, I do. I'm a Twihard. It sounds like try hard with a lisp.
Yeah.
Try hard.
Twilight.
So now we're actually moving on, and we have Dan's girlfriend, Amanda, here. And I think Amanda is probably one of the influences for why you watched it. Right?
Yes. She read, I don't know, all the books? She read all the books, has all the books in our freaking bookcase. Has been talking about it for a while. And...
No way.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Yeah. The fact that she likes it and she has, like...
Yeah, it was
books
the
around.
first thing I noticed when I went to their apartment for the
Your
first
eyes.
time.
Wow, well, so welcome, Amanda.
Welcome, Amanda.
Hello, podcast listeners. My name is Amanda. I am from Utah. I am not a Mormon. I am a biology graduate and Dan's girlfriend.
And a robot.
I knew how much Melissa liked Twilight. And, I read the books at least twice, watched the movies. I saw the first one in theaters with my dad and little brother, who
Oh, that's
loved
cute.
it, by the way.
They did?
Yes.
Aw.
Well, everyone loved it when it came
Yeah,
out, right?
it's great. It's a great book, great
It was
story.
fun.
I did have some thoughts when watching Vampire Diaries of having the cast of Vampire Diaries be in Twilight, but after watching them again, I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
I think it's a great cast.
You wanted the actors in the Vampire Diaries.
Yeah,
to
I don't
be
know. I
the
think all the people talking about how bad the acting was
Yeah.
getting to me, but it's not.
influencing you. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I am Team Jacob also.
I know,
No.
you were just listening to us.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it really hurts me.
She
No,
was
because-
sitting on the couch biting her fist for an hour.
Because, I mean, when you're diehard Edward fans, or, when you...
Yeah.
This is not a new thing. When you love something or have chosen a team, you can't really change,
Yeah.
But,
Some people do. Some people
yeah.
do change.
I did force Dan secretly to watch these Twilight movies because I knew he'd like it.
Yeah.
He said how much he was a romantic. He is. I'm not.
confirm.
This might be why I don't like Edward. I hate ooey gooey. I don't care about romance.
Are you romantic sometimes?
Yes.
Yeah.
She will not admit that
In
openly.
secret.
No, but rarely. I don't know. Shut up. So growing up, 6th grade. That's the first time I was introduced to Twilight.
Right when it
Everyone,
came out, right?
I don't know. Everyone loved it. I started buying the books. I didn't necessarily have a team, but I think when people started making teams, I chose a team.
Yeah.
I like warmer people, and I think Jacob's a warmer person. Obviously, he is. He's a werewolf, and
That
the
makes
point of
sense.
Jacob is that he's warm. The scene, I know you guys mentioned that he was mean to Mike. Dude was having a hot flash. So, Jacob as this character, he would never be mean to Mike randomly.
Yeah.
He also got really hot, got really angry, because that's what you do as a werewolf, you get angry.
Yeah.
And
He couldn't help it.
so, I'm not excusing this behavior in society, you say, but I am excusing this behavior in this particular scene.
Well, that's kind of like the Edward watching Bella sleep in a
was
way.
just thinking.
Yeah.
Edward, to me, Sorry, guys. Baby! I don't like Edward. I think he's a whiny little baby.
Triggering.
As far as...
So triggered.
No, for someone who's that old, he shouldn't be that much of a baby. But...
He has transcended.
Be quiet. So
He's quirky.
he's lonely, man. He's never had these experiences
Yeah,
before.
can you blame him?
So it's like, okay, fine. And actually, as a kid, when watching these movies, I thought Jacob was super hot. At least maybe my friends did, so I didn't think Edward was. But now that I've grown up, it's completely the opposite.
So,
Oh, really?
Do you feel the face punch vibe?
I still enjoy the
Face punch.
tanness
Yeah.
the tanness.
Jacob, but I do also hate his face and voice. I used to not. I love Taylor Lautner. Taylor, if you're listening, I still love you. I love you in SNL. Anyway.
What about Shark Boy and Lava Girl?
Shark Boy and Lava Girl was amazing. That's when I actually had a crush on him for like a brief moment.
Yeah, Cheaper by the Dozen too. Have you
Yeah.
seen that?
Oh my god.
Yes.
We had a Taylor Lautner episode.
But it,
Yeah.
anyway, so that's that. I do want to say, you guys mentioned sexual tension with Carlisle.
Mm-hmm.
I sense none of that at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's a
That's
very,
it's a niche.
recent,
Yeah.
I mean,
weird-
maybe I could look it more into it.
Yeah, maybe
I don't
watch
think-
the scene. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
definitely not.
It's a movie, it's not the book. I should
Yeah.
read that in the book again
Yeah.
to really verify. Oh, also Bella. I feel like a lot of Twilight fans agree. She's not the best.
Mm-hmm.
I also really dislike Bella. And here's the thing:
too.
is coming from
There are
Utah,
parts, yeah.
it makes so much sense.
Mm-hmm.
This book, I mean, not turning to drugs or alcohol. Definitely, Mormons wouldn't want that in a popular book.
Yeah.
All Mormons have a sexual tension. Everyone does. I'm just saying, you grow up, you're in high school, you're in junior high, there's some weird stuff going on. But you start dating when you're 16, and people get married when they're like 18
Yeah.
to these people.
It's so normalized.
And of course, there's sexual tension.
Mm-hmm.
So that is just, it makes so much sense about how everything and everyone is so young and all this is happening, but I hate it. I hate how much this is so intense for people who are so young.
Yeah.
Because it's a movie, it's a great movie. I'm not hating the movie. I'm hating everyone in society and everyone who watches it who kind of makes it okay. I think everyone, aside from the movie, needs to think about that, just because, okay, girl, you've known this guy for 6 months, a year, I don't even know, and she's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
obsessed with him. Chill out. He
Getting heated over there.
No,
Well,
they
like-
are so young.
And the timeline is too fast.
and even and Romeo and Juliet, I also still hate, because
yeah.
they're young kids who are literally killing themselves over each other after barely knowing each other. I hate that stuff.
Yeah.
I absolutely hate that stuff. I'm so angry right now. I know.
I mean, in real life, though, you would be like, okay, this is melodramatic.
But here's the thing
you're in high
Yeah,
school.
but it also makes sense, because this little high schooler.
That was the heating.
It's the little high schoolers.
So you have these high schoolers who are horny and first love, mysterious. Bella needs to chill with the mysteriousness. Like, she liked. Yes, she was okay. She went to go see Jacob, because she wanted this adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
She wanted him to fix the motorcycle. She was like, "Oh, I love this guy. He's a great friend."
Yeah.
No, in no way was she into him, but all of a sudden when he got mysterious, she's like, "Wait a minute. He's really interesting." And I'm just like, "Okay."
Yeah.
But there was no parental guidance with her, especially when she got all depressed with Edward.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense that she could spiral, so I'm not hating on that either.
You don't think Charlie is a parental guidance?
I love Charlie. He is my favorite character, but no, he is not a good...
Is it because of the stash?
He's quite...
Partially.
Yes.
Yes.
But yeah. I also... What really bugs me about the baseball scene is... I was really excited for the vampires, what's her name? I totally forgot.
What?
It's not Rebecca.
Rosalie.
No, the
Oh,
redhead.
Victoria.
Victoria.
Yeah.
I was so excited for them all to play together, and then of course Bella ruins it. Anyway, so that's what I had to say about that.
Yeah, it would have been fun if you could watch them play for like a second, and
Yeah.
then they slide
They
into
could have
Bella.
been friends. Imagine. They could have we've been friends. I, as a team Jacob, I just put that in quotes in the air, by the way. I think I was doing it for myself. At this age, I like Jacob better. I thought he was more fun. I mean, I was a kid.
Yeah.
He was more immature, and I wanted to hang out with someone who was like me. I also, like I said, I like someone who's a little bit more warm, more messy. Obviously, I like the other stuff too. But as a kid, I wanted Jacob. And I think Edward and Bella, yeah, they're great together. Go with them.
So you'd rather Bella with Edward?
I mean, I can't really spoil anything, but being someone who, yes, knows how everything goes, I would rather Bella with Edward.
Oh. But you would date Jacob.
Dan, do you not know what happens at all?
Don't
He
spoil
doesn't.
it.
He has no idea.
I don't
I had
fucking
something
know.
I wanted to say this episode, but I'm gonna save it because it refers to
Yeah.
What happens?
We're gonna watch 3, hopefully within the next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, no idea.
I'm just still the whole, I cannot get over Stephanie Meyer and how everyone is so young. But because it's a Utah thing, it makes sense. It doesn't mean I can't hate it.
Well, like, I mean, I fall for it. Like, I get into it. I love this stuff. Even as a 13-year-old, I loved Edward. I wanted to get him, like, blah, blah, blah. Marry me. But it is weird how, I always think about this, like, why do storytellers, like, TV shows, movies, always have teenagers doing such adult things?
Yeah, it is
horrifying.
weird.
And dressing that way, too. Like, you
Yeah.
literally watch the Disney Channel and, like, 10-year-old kids are dressing like 30-year-olds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
with the,
Or even like so many TV shows, they'll have like teenagers getting pregnant or like talking about getting married. And it's like that doesn't happen that often, not anymore.
It always shows like middle
It
schoolers
seems like perverted almost.
like middle schoolers are always going on like dates and
Yeah,
like it's their
in
number one
TV
goal to go to
shows.
the prom and
Yeah.
to do this
Yeah.
and to be in relationships and to get married and
Even,
have the
like,
kiss.
Yeah.
Even solving crimes and stuff and running around doing these things, it's like, this is what an adult would do. Like, why? I mean, I guess
Exactly.
it's just interesting and it's just exciting and escape, but it is a weird thing about our culture. Not even just Mormon to, like, to, at a young age, want to be
older. I mean, and we pretend that like teenagers are like doing way more than they're actually doing. Like, teenagers are sitting at home on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Like,
That's literally all they
If
do.
you've seen like Euphoria and stuff, like none of that is happening. They're really not like having sex. They're not like
going on adventures outside.
When I was a
No.
teenager, I was just like on Tumblr. I'd go to Chili's with my friends for appetizers.
Yeah.
I do have to say,
Yeah,
same.
like for appetizers.
But mine was Applebee's.
That's all you
trying
can
to
afford.
figure out how much to tip. Yeah.
Yeah.
So being from Utah, I did have a lot of friends who their first relationship, they were absolutely in love and they were going to get married and have babies. And I just hated that.
Yeah.
Being
Wait,
that
isn't
age.
this your first relationship? The two of you?
Yeah, okay. I am so depressed about that, by the way. I am a hypocrite. But
That sounds
we
like an
still
insult.
waited long. Shush.
You guys had a lot of build up.
We've waited so long and we're still waiting, and I don't want. I still feel like a kid. So hearing like Twilight, Bella, everyone being 16, 17, I want to vomit.
Yeah.
I can't deal with that.
It is, pretty young to like also for the rest of society to picture like an 18-year-old getting married at this day and age. It just doesn't happen that often.
Random. My favorite Cullen is Rosalie.
Interesting.
I've
Do
always
tell.
liked her. I loved when she voted no for Bella becoming a vampire, because that quote, I think, hit me so hard. She's like, I wish someone could vote no for me.
Yeah.
She doesn't want this.
Yeah.
She wants a baby. She wants all this
normal life.
adult life that Bella.
Doesn't get to have.
And so, I love how much Rosalie hates Bella for that in a way, but it's jealousy. It's not hate.
Yeah.
How do you think Carlisle feels when Rosalie says something like that?
I mean,
Because he turned her.
I feel like he's probably like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. It's so awkward.
Yeah.
It's like, I hate being vampire.
Oh, I guess I struck out on that
Sorry.
one.
I think I also vibe well with Rosalie because I also have anger problems. No. But when she broke the salad bowl, I was like, I would do the exact same thing.
Oh, Rosalie.
was busting my balls.
And the snaky, slithery guy, the Volturi.
Thank you for using that description.
I think he was
Aro,
great.
yeah.
And you
No,
know
he
what?
nailed
I
it.
think he's pretty cute. So, yeah.
What are you talking
I don't know.
about?
I'm into that.
You mean the actor without the makeup
No!
on? Like that?
I would date that vampire man.
That's
You would
upsetting.
date
I
Ara?
love that.
I would.
Yeah.
Would you date Marcus?
He's a little old.
If I was older, I would date Mark.
Right?
Yeah.
Can you please-
No, I
Amanda.
see him as more of a Fabio character, whereas what's the slithery snake guy's
Aro.
name? Aro.
Slippery, sneaky dude.
I see
That's
Aro as
slap-
more of a.
I bet Marcus's
I don't
apartment
know.
is great.
It is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
mahogany.
well decorated. I bet he has great scented candles.
I've
and,
never
like,
even thought about
extremely
their
old
apartments.
aged
I don't
alcohols.
think there would be scented
He
candles.
smokes a pipe. Well, I'm romanticizing it.
We think about everything.
Yeah, I never thought that they would have like their own
Oh,
separate.
imagine him like sitting in a
houses.
bathrobe and an armchair
Exactly.
with like a big thick leather bound neck and a
Do they
pipe.
live in like a tower?
That's
Yeah,
Marcus.
like where is it? Where do they live?
Yeah.
In the basement. You know what I think's really ironic and awesome about the red coat ceremony?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, those.
they're having so much fun that no more vampires live in their town or whatever. Literally, they rule that city.
Yeah,
you
little
know,
do
They
they
still
know.
do.
they're just walking in the
It's
sewers.
pretty clever.
Yeah,
You know?
I think it's ironic, and then the fact that there's vampires running around in between them.
Yeah.
I think that was great.
So does that scene? You said it was filmed in Italy. Where does it take place in the?
It's Volterra, which is a real place in Italy.
Okay, so wait, how did she get to Italy so fast?
I think
They
it's
had a quick montage of like the
yeah.
plane. It wasn't that fast. though.
Yeah,
It's
they
a plane.
do have to, and they fly commercial. Yeah.
Okay, I don't remember that.
Yeah, they really.
Outrageous.
She just
Virgin
showed up in
Airlines.
Italy.
Outrageous.
Was it Virgin Airlines?
Yeah.
Of course
They
it
showed
was.
that. Virgin Airlines.
They show it.
They have a lot of
Virgin
subliminal
Airlines.
messaging. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Symbolism.
Wait, I loved when we were after we watched New Moon. You guys were debating Team Edward, Team Jacob,
Yeah.
and you were like, "Jacob's just too muddy."
I liked the mud,
No, it was
and
like,
Dan
who,
was like,
no,
"Who
you're
likes
who
mud?"
would you rather go on a date with, like Edward or Jacob? And I was like, I don't want to like go, like get dirty in like the mud with like Jacob. I don't know. It would. I would be sweaty.
See,
There would
Dan
be.
is a camp.
there would be dirt.
He's an outdoorsman.
But yeah, you like outdoorsy
Yeah, but
stuff.
I hate getting mud on me. And it just, when I think Jacob, I think of like the shirtless, sweaty,
Yeah.
wet guy running around outside. Like,
Yeah.
But that was my childhood. I would play in mud puddles.
Yeah, does Jacob smell good?
He smells.
not in the traditional sense.
Maybe he
Yeah.
smells good.
He smells of evergreen.
No,
Ella doesn't seem to mind it.
I mean, he's so hot. Do you think he's sweating?
So hot in what sense?
he's a vamp. I mean,
Like in the
werewolf.
temperature wise?
No, I don't think he's sweating.
Yeah, I mean, his body probably doesn't need to sweat because it's supposed to be.
I mean, what's the thing?
I would have more fun like going into a library and being like talking like in intelligent
If you could
shit.
choose to live in a library and never go out and go camping, would you choose camping or library?
Oh, shit. Wait, could I never go
literally
camping or
like
never
two
go in a
types of
library again?
guys.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like-
it really is.
Oh,
But Dan
gosh.
kind of is both
I'm
guys.
both of those guys. I just don't like mud.
Shut
I
up,
don't
talk
want to.
about
Who wants
mud.
to get covered in mud? Well,
You
if
never
I have,
go to the beach.
I
Dan
go to
loves
the beach.
beaches.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there is a beach in La Push, which is where Jacob lives.
La push.
I
And
really.
Edward can't go out in the sun.
Well, he can.
He can.
Yeah,
Come
he'd
on.
sparkle.
Come on.
I've
yeah.
always loved Jacob. I think he's a great guy. Despite being a horny, angry teenage boy, he's always helping Bella, protecting Bella. He's always nice. Yes, he's very into her, I think. He thinks. But he's still very nice to her.
Yeah.
I mean,
True.
who gets the two sides to... Never mind. I can't say this right now.
Yeah. We'll have to do a follow up once you've
but-
seen all of them.
After I see all of them.
Yeah.
I think...
Breaking Down will blow your mind. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear your
What way?
reactions.
I'm
I
gonna-
can't
In a
wait.
mind-blowing
promote
Yeah.
a YouTube video. I don't know who it is, but it's kind of a long Twilight thing where they sing, I think it's a Pitbull song and a Lady Gaga song.
Yes, they did these parodies back in the day. Yeah,
I think that it's so good.
Yeah, I loved those. Do you remember what they're...
Hollywood?
Yeah. They're so good. I think they had them for all of them, right?
It was like, I'm gonna marry the knight or Edward or something.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really great...
I used to watch those, like, all the time. Like, especially when the movies came out, but they wouldn't be on DVD yet, I would just watch the parody of it.
Well, any closing remarks as a straight guy who watched Twilight for the first time?
You gotta give it a chance, guys. You gotta give it a chance.
We do have some
If
straight
someone's
guys
listening, they probably are.
I'm not saying that you have to like put down everything you're doing and become a Twilight fan. I'm just saying it's not as ridiculously bad as people make it seem. Also, check out my Facebook page because that's on the dash. You'll never see anything new posted ever again, but check it out.
We also want to give a quick shout out to our listener, Annika, aka Maven. Thank you. She sent us some Twilight themed lingerie. Again. But this one, it's so beautiful, and honestly, I don't want to take credit, but I feel like I had some influence in this because she asked us what kind of prints we thought would go in a themed collection. For Twilight, and I said something foresty, and she found the most beautiful print, and she sent us some undies and some bralettes, and they're so cute. You guys have to check it out, and we'll share the link.
Yeah, so her brand is called Hey Mavens. We've mentioned her before, but she makes custom lingerie, bralettes, and stuff, and she has Twilight-themed bras and underwear.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
And, like, for everything that she makes, she basically watches Twilight while she's making it. So it's like Twilight's kind of, like, stitched into the seam of everything.
True.
It's always made with Twilight. And you guys should check it out, support it, and we'll share her link on Instagram.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
She also has a Twilight-themed Instagram called Twilight Does It Again, and it's really funny and beautiful.
Team Motorcycle Guy forever.
Don't forget about Team Motorcycle Guy.
Yeah.
We gotta find out his name.
Yeah.
Look in the credits.
That's good. That's some good merch opportunities.
Yeah.
That's quite a scandalous team.
Yeah, it's a horrible team.
Untapped opportunity.
I don't think anyone's even considered that team
It's a
before.
horrible team.
I mean, honestly, he's not that bad. Like, he did stop
isn't.
the motorcycle. Like, she got
Yeah.
lucky.
Kind of an a-hole, but he did stop that motorcycle.
He wasn't.
He never touched her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're supposed to think he could have, like, assaulted her or
Yeah.
something, but
I don't
he's
think
like,
he has it in him.
And he says, like, what'd you say or whatever?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I would have not imagined this guy to actually stop his motorcycle.
no. I mean,
That's why I'm on his team. Okay?
I would like to learn more.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. I don't think he's a great guy.
Well, we don't really
Spin-off.
know about
Yeah.
this guy. We can only imagine.
All right. Well, thank you guys for being on the show. This was so much
Thanks.
fun.
It was fucking awesome for having us on. Thank you.
All right. We'll have to follow up.
Okay, will do.
Goodbye, friends.
Bye.
We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.
We never know how to end it.
You can contact us at anotherbiteoftwilight@gmail.com or find us on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram at anotherbiteoftwilight. Theme music is by Traces. See you next time.